So, I wanted to know, where does methane come from? So it's agricultural, fossil fuels, management of waste. A lot of our landfills that we've got organic waste, our food, our raw foods, not cooked foods. We can't do much about the cooked foods, but our raw foods. This is producing a lot of methane gas. Our fossil fuels, but our waste is our main objective. So this is what's happening with methane gas. So it's a natural gas, and it is a greenhouse gas that we are exposing our environment. Not only are we exposing ourselves to it, but we're exposing the people that we love, our parents, our children, our friends. So we have a responsibility, not only to ourselves, but to our family and to our future generations, to really look after the environment. And not by going and protesting and all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how we can contribute in a small but effective way, not only in decreasing the emissions of greenhouse gases, but putting something back into the environment, back into the earth. And that's the key that I wanted to talk about. I'm not a scientist. I don't know how all these things work. But what I do know is from the scientific evidence that has been created by the eco-enzymes and the experts, the professors that have done all this research, it works. And we've seen the effects. And that's what I want to share with you in a very layman sort of terminology, how you at home can do something fantastic for the environment. So that was the other thing that I wanted to go through. And these PowerPoints I can always put up on Facebook if you want to have a look. And these are all statistics that I've found on the internet. And it just simplifies how carbon dioxide is produced, how methane is produced, and that's all about the climate. But the other thing that I really wanted you to have a look at was the global eco-enzymes that we sort of collated together with information with absolutely fantastic, beautiful Dr. I can't pronounce her name properly, Dr. Rosakan. She's the head of this, and Dr. Joanne, obviously, that's continued her work. But Dr. Rosakan, she started this sort of work many, many, many years ago, and she started in Thailand, and she did absolutely beautiful work for the agriculture there. But she sort of put together this simple formula that everyone at home can use and put nutrients back into the earth, back into our soil, back into our environment too. So it's actually blown to a better place. So where's my other PPT? Is this it? Yes, I think this is it. Okay, I'll share this with you too. Slideshow. Start from the beginning. Oh, what's that? Okay, whatever. Sorry. Okay. So eco-enzymes, what they can do. So creating a sustainable future with eco-enzymes. And I want to do it. So we are polluting not only our bodies and the planet. We can see what we're doing. And the thing is, our major organ on our body is our skin. And a lot of people have been going and visiting the GP because they've got dermatitis, they've got skin rashes, because our skin's being polluted by the environment, by the detergents that we use, by the pollutants in the air, by the water, by everything. Our skin is our major organ. So, and it absorbs anything that's in the air, in the environment, is absorbed through our skin. So that's another thing that we have to really have a look at. Organic waste that's piled up in landfill produces harmful gases to the environment, to the health of the people living around the landfill. Greenhouse gases has the capacity to trap 30 times more effective than carbon dioxide. That's a big amount. So this is all the rubbish that we put into landfills. So can you imagine living around a landfill? The odors, the pollution that is created? It's not something that anyone would like to do. So the greenhouse effect, this is what happens. So you have solar radiation that passes through the clear atmosphere. So radiation is absorbed by the Earth's surface and it warms it up. Okay, some solar radiation is reflected by the Earth and the atmosphere. Some of the infrared radiation passes through the atmosphere, and some is absorbed and re-emitted in all molecules. The effect of this is to warm the Earth's surface and to lower atmosphere. Infrared radiation is emitted from the Earth's surface. So what are we doing with the shocking facts? The other real culprit, the greenhouse gas emissions, is garbage. This is the garbage that we produce, that every human person that consumes produces. The world generates 2.01 billion tons of municipal solid waste annually. And at least 33% of that, extremely conservatively, not managed in an environmentally safe manner. So when organic waste decomposes, carbon dioxide and methane gas is created. Methane is created when there is no air present, while carbon dioxide is the natural product when anything rots in the air. That's something I really didn't know. And you don't really think about, because you put your rubbish in the rubbish bin and then it's taken away. Where it goes, I don't know, and it doesn't worry me. Well, now it does, because I am producing greenhouse gases. So methane gas releases from garbage 25% more heat than carbon dioxide, and that's worsening the global warming condition. So living enzymes create the spark of all life. So without enzymes, which enzymes is a protein, it's in every living cell, whether it's a plant, whether it's an animal, whether it's human, in our hair, there's enzymes everywhere. And I feel that we're not taught enough what enzymes actually do. So if there's a living substance, if there's a cell, any molecular structure, there is enzymes. It's a protein strand. So they've been here since the beginning of life, beginning of Earth. So they protect us, those enzymes. So we need to protect them to put back into our environment. So by making the eco enzymes, we're making a liquid gold, a liquid vitamin, if you want to call it, and we can put it back into the earth. We can put it into our water systems. We can put it back into our rivers. We can put it back into the earth. And this creates nutrients, because the enzymes then go from the liquid that we create and we produce with our leftover organic waste and goes back into the environment, whether it's in the air, whether it's in the water, or whether it's in the earth. These are living protein strands. So we can produce this at home, costs us nothing, saves us money, and saves the environment. That's how simple it is. It just takes some of your time and your conscious, mindful effort. You know, we look after our bodies, we look after our mind, and we have to look after the earth. Because if there's no earth, what's the point of all this mindfulness, as they say? So it's recycling our organic waste. That's how simple it is. And you can do it anywhere. If you live on a farm, if you live in a house, if you live in an apartment, you can recycle your organic waste. How to make eco enzymes? Easy. Eco enzymes is a part of fermentation. So we have water, we have molasses or sugar, your organic waste, the three products, and obviously your plastic container. So that's all it takes. 3 months of it fermenting in there, and you have your liquid vitamin that you can put back into your environment. So this is the ratio that we put it in. So 1 part brown sugar or molasses, 3 parts of kitchen organic waste, so fruit and vegetables. Now, you can expand that if you want in the future and use other plants, flowers, live flowers and that I have, but just for beginner's sake, just your organic kitchen waste. It's got to be raw, so nothing cooked, because once you cook any fruit or vegetables, you've broken down the enzymes, you've broken down the protein. So it has to be raw. Doesn't matter if it's old, that doesn't matter. As long as it's uncooked, you haven't changed the process of that enzyme, that protein. And obviously water. Water is the living organism that it will help for the fermentation to be completed. So these are the formulas, if you want, the ratios. So what we do is 14 parts, basically. 10 parts water, 3 parts organic waste, 1 part, I should say raw, because sometimes you can't get organic fruit and vegetables. So as long as it's raw, then it's fine. And your sugar or molasses, and that helps the fermentation. So chop your fruit and vegetables into scrappy little pieces. Mix the ingredients in a plastic container. It must be plastic, because while it's fermenting, it's producing a gas. And that gas will expand. So if it's a glass container, then you'll break it. But with a plastic, you have that flexibility for it to expand and that. So during the early stages, it's very advisable for you to release the air. And that air is O3, which is ozone, which is pure oxygen. So when you release that and you let that gas out, it's great. It's great for the environment that you're producing this fermentation, the eco-enzymes, whether it's in your garage, your kitchen, or in a spare room. You'll see the difference. It will actually change the oxygen within that room, that environment that you're in. So after 3 months, you have successfully produced eco-enzymes, and then you can use it in a lot of different ways. So filter the liquid of the organic waste, and the residue, again, there's no waste in this. Costs you nothing to make, and it will save you so much time, effort, putting back vitamins and liquid gold back into your environment. So even the residue that's in your container, you can put that in your potting mix, you can put that in your garden, and that will make your garden bed where you're growing vegetables or flowers will produce a better variety, It will actually release more nutrients into the soil. So don't throw away the residue. And if you want to, you can throw it away, because it will end up in landfills and it will go through into the landfills too. So in any case, it's recycled and will rejuvenate wherever you put it, whether it's in the soil or in the landfill soil too. So that's not a problem. Okay. Ensure you only use raw fruit and vegetable scraps, because anything cooked won't do, because you've actually killed off the enzymes. They're no longer there. So they're a hindrance. Now, fermentation that produces the alcohol and acetate acid will disinfect properly. It only applies to plant-based materials. Okay. So these are the following ways that you can use your eco-enzymes. And it's so beneficial that you can, I have a lot of people that especially on Instagram, that use apple cider vinegar to clean and to do. This is 1,000 times better. Okay. And you don't have to buy it. You make it. And there's no other chemicals in it. And you can use it for everything and anything, as a floor cleaner, as a toilet cleaner, in the kitchen, in your dishwasher, in your dishwashing liquid. I use it in all these things. Your air purifier, clothes detergent, in your toilets, in your drains. I've used it in drains, unclogged drains that have had rubbish in them for years. Okay, I did pour a lot of eco-enzymes, but it worked. Got rid of smells. It's an insect repellent. My husband loves it when I put it in the hand wash, because his skin is softer with the eco-enzymes. He didn't understand what I had in the hand wash, and he's like, my skin feels really nice and not only clean but softer because of the eco-enzymes. It's soft. It's great for boys teenage boys that play sport and have smelly feet, soak your feet in the eco enzymes, put 2 capfuls in a foot bath, and it'll get rid of the smell, and it actually breaks down bacteria. So that bacteria that ferments in the boys' socks and shoes, it actually is broken down by the global eco enzymes. So I suggest you try that. It's good as a pesticide, a natural pesticide, because if you don't really want to kill other bugs or spiders or anything like that, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can spray the eco enzymes on your plants, in your pots, in the air, and it's a deterrent. It won't kill them. They don't like the smell, and they'll leave. It's like, you're not welcomed here, bye-bye, and they'll go instead of killing them, which I prefer. And also, you don't want to spray pesticides on your veggie patch, so caterpillars don't go in there, and then you've got chemicals on your beautiful organic veggies, and then you eat them. So spray some eco enzymes on there. The caterpillars will say, don't like this, and leave, and you're pesticide free. So there are many ways, and there's many more ways that we're still developing, and still I still listen to people, and they, I've got soap here that one beautiful woman made soap with, and I'm using it, and it's like, wow, this is organic eco enzyme soap, seriously, for my dishes and my clothes, and it cost me nothing. So that's beautiful. So there you go. You can use it anywhere. You can put it in your shampoo. You can put it in your bubble bath. You only need a little bit. And the carrier for all those beautiful enzymes and proteins and molecules and disinfected molecules is the water, is the liquid. So it travels with liquid. So you can put it in water, and you can spray your skin with it. There was a couple of friends of mine that had dermatitis, and they had put creams, from the chemist, from the dermatologist, and nothing would get rid of it. And they would soak their hands in the eco enzymes, water with a couple of capfuls of eco enzymes, 20 minutes a day, and it helped. Because it's a living organism, it sits in your skin and it breaks down the bacteria. It disinfects without causing any other harm, because all the other chemicals that we use, there are fillers contained in it. And those fillers can actually aggravate your skin, can aggravate other potential, maybe disease or things, bacteria that you have, and it might aggravate it. But when you use a natural product like enzymes and protein, it doesn't do that. It breaks down the bacteria that's sitting on your skin, but does not affect anything else. So it's harmless, helpful, liquid gold, I call it, or liquid vitamin, nutrient, and it's effective in that sense, and it's soothing, especially for your skin. So if you want to break down petrochemicals that we have in our shampoo and our liquid detergent and that, put some eco enzymes, and you'll see the color difference, and you'll see the petrochemicals. They'll sit on the bottom of that container, because it's broken down by the eco enzymes. It's broken down by the proteins. It's very important. So in your household, your dishes, when you wash them, they're clean. No, because you've used chemicals to put on your sponge, and they sit on your dishes. Whereas the eco enzymes, when you put in your dishwashing liquid, breaks it down, breaks down the grease, breaks down those chemicals. And you do with the water, when it runs off those dishes, it runs down the drain. So it breaks them down. It breaks down those molecules, those chemicals that sit on your dishes. It degreases and gets rid of the odors. In your laundry. Now, I have a child. Well, he's not a child. He's 24 years old, but being a Greek mother, he's my child. He's my baby. So he has an issue with detergents from a young age. I put eco enzymes in the softener department of my washing machine. No problem. The clothes smell better. They're softer. And I have to say that the last 5-6 years that I've been using them, the T-shirts are in good nick. So it actually saves the material too. So there are a lot of pros and no cons. So you gain. You gain money, you gain environment, you gain nutrients, you gain health. There are no losses. No losses. If you want to think about your time that you chop up the organic waste and put it into the container as a loss, that's it. That's your own loss. Just a little bit of your time, but you gain tenfold in a lot of things and your family. So they rinse easier. They clean. Eco enzymes in your detergent. 1 part eco enzyme, 1 part detergent, 5 parts water. It's easy. And the other thing too is when you're using, because we want to use detergents because we want to clean, and there are some nice chemicals in the detergents, okay, to get rid of the grease and stuff like that. But with the eco enzymes in the water, our detergents last 5 times longer. So we save money as well. So we don't have to buy as much detergent as we used to because we water it down and we put the eco enzymes and make it more effective, less petrochemicals, which is the biggest killer, the petrochemicals that affects our skin especially. So, and there's the difference with added eco enzymes, without eco enzymes. There's and it's the same hand wash. The only difference is the one on your left, right? The fuller one has got water and eco enzymes in it. And that's the petrochemicals that's been broken down by the hand wash and that fluorescent whitening agent. It will separate and it will settle down on the bottom. And if you can have a close look on the red one on the left, okay, you see that white film on the bottom? That's the fluorescent whitening agent that's in your dishwashing liquid. It's amazing what this product does. You know, and the thing is, it's for free. You don't have to buy it. Yeah, it's there for you. So there you go again. There's the detergent for your hand wash. And like I said, you know, my husband's not too receptive with what detergents I've used and dishwashing liquids and all this. He doesn't care. He pays the bills. He doesn't ask questions. But he loves his skin and his hair. So when his skin starts feeling really nice and soft and moist and that, he's like, oh, is that a new hand wash? And I'm like, no, it's the same one. Oh, you sure? Because my hands feel softer and they smell nicer. I said, it's the Eco Enzyme one. I said, is that the one that Samantha gave you? I said, yes. He goes, oh, I didn't know you could do that. There you go. And I use so much less and it lasts longer. So it's really, really important. Air freshener. Now, this is amazing. I love, love, love this. So you can spray this in the air. Now, I've got a little dog that we have in the house, and my mother-in-law comes and visits sometimes, and she smokes. So I'm like, she doesn't smoke in the house, but when she comes in, the smoke comes in with her. So when she goes home, there's always a bit of smell of smoke in the air. I spray it and it freshens up the air. The dog, I use it around her bed and I soak her blankets in it too. Makes a big, big difference. So this is a beautiful air freshener. So you should try it. It eliminates cigarette smells, eliminates odors. And the other thing it does too, because the eco enzymes, the protein it's in the spray, when you spray it, it actually increases, you're putting oxygen back into the air. It's breaking down the smoke particles, okay? Because smoke particles, the way they travel in the air is they attach themselves to oxygen, and that's how they travel in the air. Anything that travels in the air is attached to an oxygen, nitrogen, which is in our air. So when you spray the eco enzymes into the air, it separates them. So it releases the oxygen, so it can be pure oxygen for you, and the other chemical falls away. So this is why it increases the oxygen levels too. Now, this is very important too. Now, people that are lucky that can grow their own vegetables and fruit, which is absolutely amazing, is fantastic. But for those of us that don't, we need to go and buy them at the supermarket or markets. You know, people touch up those fruit. And not only that, most of the fruit has pesticide, if not all, has pesticide on the skin of the fruit. So by soaking our fruit and vegetables in eco enzymes and water for 45 minutes, this removes all the pesticides and herbicides that are on it, and all the other yucky stuff, people touching, and bacteria and that sits on there, and all the germs that sits on there. Soak them in. The other thing it does too, it actually, because the enzymes, right, it actually gives it more life. So you'll see the fruit, the color gets better, and it actually really gets rid of all those pesticides, but it actually gives life back into our fruit. 45 minutes makes a big difference. So you can wash your fruit, wash your vegetables, clean them, add 1 cup of eco enzymes to the tub, okay? And then soak your vegetables in eco enzymes, soak them for 45 minutes, and you'll see. Now, one of the girls said not tomatoes, because it doesn't, soaking the tomatoes for 45 minutes actually wasn't a good idea. So she just soaked them for a short amount of time, but everything else is great. It actually, you can see the difference, especially in your green leaves, whether it's rocket, whether it's cabbage, whether it's broccoli, whether it's bok choy, you'll see the difference. The actual leaves come alive because you're putting nutrients back into those vegetables. Makes a big difference. So I wanted you guys to watch, if I can show you, where have I got it? Take that down. Oops. No, I don't want to do that. I wanted to put up, where have I got? Aha, there it is. Share. Okay. Oh, share this. I wanted you to watch this.
Sophia, I think you didn't share the sound because
Okay. Okay, hang on. How did we do it last time? More share. Share up. There it is. Is that better? Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Shane Martin. I'm here to explain all about how to make eco-enzymes. Now, many people won't know what eco-enzymes are. So, to explain that, I need to share a rather beautiful story with you. This is the story of a lady from Thailand. Her name is Dr. Rossokun. And she started this journey more than 40 years ago when she was investigating plants to be used on for different things, really, for the health benefits, for able to help on her farm, how to make fertilizers, biodynamic fertilizers, how to heal people with spraying on different cuts and wounds. So she worked with enzymes, experimenting with the life force of plants. A lot of people don't know what the life force of plants means, so allow me to explain that. Here I've got two leaves which come from the same tree. You'll notice one is brown and one is green. Would you say they are the same? We can see they're not the same. One has more life in it and one has less life in it. What would happen if we could take the life force from the plant before it faded away and move it into the water? Encourage the life force to not fade away, but to move into the water and exist within the water. Well, that's what we do. Dr. Rossokun was able to achieve that. And she's able to use the life force of plants, fruit and vegetables, and harness their power to create some amazing products which are fantastic for the earth, they're fantastic for our health, and they harm nothing. They're not a destructive exchange. Like, it doesn't kill anything, it doesn't burn anything, it doesn't destroy anything. What the enzymes do when they're applied for different uses is it changes them. Non-violent, they're like the passive changes of the natural world. So I'm going to show you how to make those. And then you can begin the journey yourself of where that will take you. Okay, so we begin. Now I'm going to physically show you how to make eco-enzyme at home. You need to travel this journey of the heart to make the enzymes to fully understand what's going on. And the best way to do that is to make them, go through the process of making them, and then use them throughout the home, and you'll discover the wondrous things that they can bring for the home, for the environment, for Mother Earth. Okay, first I'll explain. It may not a sense you are in, we're part of a network called Global Enzyme Network, established by Dr. Rossokun. It's now spread throughout more than 40 countries around the world. We have teams working with these enzymes to help the environment and to help improve the planet. We're stewards of the planet. That's really who we are. What we're making today here is referred to as eco-enzymes, which is made from scraps and mainly waste from fruit scraps, can be vegetable scraps. We collect all the waste products, making sure there's no oil and no animal products. Put them in a container like this, and as we gather them, maybe after each meal, we'll move across to here, then we would add them to a drum which I prepared earlier. before I show you the actual making process of that, there's a couple of important things everyone needs to know. One is the ratio. That means what parts are what that we combine together. Well, it's a ratio of 14, which consists of 10 parts fresh water, 1 part molasses. Now I'll show you molasses here. For those who are not familiar with molasses, this is what molasses looks like. It's actually the last pressing out of sugar cane. It has lots of the minerals in it and has a high sugar content. That's molasses. And then we use 3 parts vegetable and fruit scrap waste. Things like this, the skins or the whole fruit if you no longer need it, pears, potato peels, just about any vegetable scraps you can use. The broader the range of scraps, the better it is, because the broader the range of enzymes you introduce into your drum. Keep that in mind. If you can make a wider range of enzymes, the more diverse the capabilities of the drum itself. Now I'm going to take you here to the drum that I've chosen to make the enzymes with. It's a plastic drum because when the enzymes ferment, they create a bit of gas and expand. So if we have plastic, it has a capability to expand without cracking. We've done it in glass containers before, and we have unfortunately cracked some glass containers. So please go for food grade plastic. Now we choose a tub which has got a wide opening so that we can put the scraps in easily, and when we come to drain the scraps, we can get a ladle in to strain them and to utilise them. Another good thing about this particular drum is it has a scale here. It's hard, very hard to see. You may be able to see over here where I've highlighted on the other drum with black texture. I've done the marks. So that's the drum we use, and you can get most of those from a hardware or a normal supplier of different drums. Now then it comes to what lid we need for these drums. We need to have a seal, because we want these drums to be airtight. We don't want bacteria, well, not so much bacteria, but we don't want different creatures crawling in there, because they're going to love the smell of all this fruit and vegetable. So we put the seal in the lid, like so. And then when we put it on, we can get a snug, well, it's not quite right, but you get the drift. Snug seal like this drum here. Very snug. Okay, so the simple process is 10 parts fresh water first, up to here. Then we tip the molasses in until it comes up to this level here. 10 parts, 1 part, and then we keep adding fruit and vegetables into the top of the drum. I'll show you like so. Keep adding it into the top of the drum until the water level comes up to the 3 parts. And then we know, because of displacement, that we have enough fruit and vegetable waste in there. So once this is established, and you can add to it over more than one day, if you don't have enough scraps in one day, you can keep adding it up till you get to the level required. Once you get to this level required, you move across and you can put a date on it. Because from this date, 3 months into the future, then your enzymes will be ready. So once you've reached the correct level, date it. 3 months later, the enzymes are ready for use. The longer you use the enzymes, the more refined they become and the stronger they become. So only use what you need and just let it continue fermenting for as long as you need. So we can seal that back up. Some things to know about the drums. When you store the drum, you need to keep it out of the sun. The sun is not good for the enzymes. A little bit of heat's okay, but we don't want direct sunlight because it interferes with the different fermentation process going on. Another thing to consider is with the drum, to store it in a warm place, which just keeps the enzymes ticking over nicely and doing what they're meant to do. As the fruit breaks down, the enzymes are released into the water. That's what we want. We want the life force of the plants to move out of the waste into the water, because we're looking to use the life force when we use it as a fertiliser, when we use it as a cleaning agent, when we use it for lots of different things. We're actually harvesting the life force. Very critical and a new way of looking at things realistically. The only other thing is try to keep it off the soil. The soil is actually cold, and definitely keep it off concrete. I normally like to store them on a couple of pieces of timber, out of the sun, in a sheltered area. And I leave it there until I'm ready to use it. When we're ready to use the enzymes. We take the lid off. We can dip a label in here of some description, then we can strain it, which I can show you at a later date. You can use it to strain it like t-shirt material, or what we call as a laundry bag or something like that. And as you tip it on, all the liquid will go through and you'll keep the vegetable waste. The liquid is your enzyme liquid. That's what we want to utilise in many different ways. What I will do, and I'm going to show you now, is I'm going to show you a number of different uses for the enzyme, but the discoveries and how many different uses they have, we're not even sure yet. There's so many wondrous things opening up every day about new uses for them. And we're exploring with many methods and many ideas. We hope, they take my breath away sometimes, how amazing they are. And you need to do the journey of actually making them and being involved and using the product and seeing for yourself how these wondrous things actually work. And when you have this knowledge, this understanding of them, you can pass this knowledge on almost as a legacy to your family, to your children. You're creating something which is good for the earth, you're using waste, and you're making a small difference to the planet every time you go down this path of making enzymes. It's a small bit we can do for Mother Earth and for nature. Thank you. Okay, so now after waiting 3 months for our enzymes to ferment and for the life force to come out of the fruit and vegetables, move into the water towards the molasses, the sugary solute, which it's now in, we come up and we have a product like this. Now this is one I've strained to get all the vegetable waste out of it, the little bits and pieces, and we have almost like a semi-clear liquid. Now I'm going to show you what we use this liquid for. Okay, well, I'd like to thank you for joining me today on this journey of enzymes. And we've shown you some of the uses and the fantastic results it can achieve. If you take enzymes into your life, you'll be doing the world a favour. The enzymes don't harm anything. They actually improve the environment when they're released into the environment. When they're released into the sinks and into the soil, they improve the soil. They make our life richer. But please, you need to do the journey to understand really the benefits and the beauty of these wonderful, wonderful things. Thank you for listening.
Okay, there we go. So basically, you know, as Shane said it so beautifully and eloquently, there are so many different ways that we can use the eco enzymes. This is a little batch that I made. I had a lot of lemon fruit from my mother that I didn't use, and I was starting to go a bit yucky. And I had some beautiful flowers. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a nice lemon flower eco enzymes. And that's what I produced. And I love it. And I use it daily. I use it in everything. One of the point that I wanted to make with the burning, I wasn't too sure about the burning until I actually burnt my finger on the hot plate in the kitchen. And what I did, I didn't have enough time to go under the sink and get my spray and spray it. So what I did was I opened and I stuck my finger in, and I didn't blister, because usually when you burn yourself, your skin goes white and you blister. Because I did it straight away in concentrated eco enzymes. There was no white, there was no blistering. So for me, and I think for many others, it actually worked. It's good to put on different sort of sores. If you've got sores or even some cuts, it helps the skin because it gets rid of the bacteria, and it actually helps the skin regenerate and to heal in a faster way, in a more efficient way. So it helps in that way. We had a beautiful lady, Lisa, make my, I think Samantha calls it SK3. So this is my night cream. It's actually made from organic, pure coconut butter, oil, and she makes it. And I put this on my skin at night. It smells of coconut. I love it. And that's all I need for a night cream. So it actually rejuvenates my skin. I love it. It hydrates it. And I love it. You can eat this too, by the way, but I put it on my skin because my skin's important. They made the soap. So that's a beautiful, I don't know if you can see the soap, but it's a beautiful white soap that I use in my kitchen and in the laundry. So it's cost effective. It's beautiful. And this is the spray that I use for basically everything. So if my hair feels a little bit smelly because I haven't washed it, I spray some, eliminates the odor. On skin, I actually spray this in my oldest son's footy boots because they smell. And you know that bacteria festers. So you have smelly feet, and then you have all the other little ailments that, feet create, shoes create. So I spray the shoes, and within about an hour or so, that you can actually smell that the smell goes away. So the odor goes away. So it's a beautiful thing. My dog, I spray my dog's beds with this. and the dog's bed doesn't smell either. The other major thing that I think is really important, I live in an apartment block, so it's really hard for me to have the big containers. So what I do for that benefits me in an apartment, underneath my sink, I put a small 10-litre container. So I make my enzymes in smaller batches, but just as effective because you don't need all that much. So I make it under my sink and I leave it in my laundry cupboard. So it's not in sunlight and it's not cold, because you can't have protein enzymes in cold or too much heat. Because you break them down, you kill them. You know, the cold kills them and the overexposure to heat kills them, obviously. Now, living in an apartment block, we always have drain problems. So I pour this stuff every 3 to 4 months down the drains, and it helps the odors and the blockages. So I use it to clean. So this goes from my drains and my toilets, and all the cleaning products goes through the drains and into the rivers, into the sea. So it helps eliminate bacteria. It helps break down chemicals. The chemicals that actually kill our marine life, that kills our reef, that kills our environment. I'm adding a couple of drops of vitamins every single day. If we all can do that, we can make a big difference. So instead of focusing on what everyone else does, what the governments do, what the countries do, what the big organizations do, just focus on what you can do. All that little bit, drop here, a drop there, it makes a big, big difference if we all do our little bit. And all it takes is your raw organic waste to make, in 3 months, to make some liquid gold that you can put back into the environment and help the environment not to suffer. Because if we don't look after the earth, and this is not just any country, it's all countries, because we all are earthlings. We all live on this planet. So if we want our kids to have a safer environment, the pollution that we create, the air, now a lot of companies are sort of saying, okay, we won't produce cars that run on petrol, we'll do electric because it's safe for the environment, we'll do this because it's safe for the environment, let's recycle our electronics, let's recycle our glass, let's recycle all our plastics. Well, let's recycle our organic waste so we don't produce that much methane and carbon dioxide, because as consumers, we consume way too much and we don't look after our environment. So if you're like me and you like buying a lot of clothes, recycle them properly. But what I can do effectively for the environment and to put that nutrient back into the environment is making my eco enzymes. And that's breaking down those harsh chemicals that we buy, especially, I think one of the biggest killers, and we discussed this with Shane as well too, and I'd love Shane to talk a bit more, is the chlorine that we use in our swimming pools. It's a big, big concern, but we like swimming pools. So, what do? Well, what I can do that I no longer have a swimming pool is put some eco enzymes back into the environment, whether it's in the soil, whether it's in the air, or whether it's in the water system. It makes a big difference. And I think a lot of countries, especially like in Thailand, that they've found a big difference in the water pollution. And it made a big difference in the air pollution too, of, being mindful and conservative and putting something back into the environment. So as an individual, that's my contribution. It costs me nothing and it saves me money with all the detergents, with all the products. And I don't have to buy all that anti-dermatological cream to put on my son's back because the washing machine has produced all these chemicals that he puts on his body. I use this. It breaks it down. His skin doesn't suffer. And I save money on my detergents. So that's how I feel about eco enzymes, and it's easy to make. So over to you guys. What can you do? How can you help yourself and your family, especially your kids and our elderly that can't do anything? We need to help them with all the chemicals that we put back in the environment. Thank you for listening.